Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to clutch out in the end game, or otherwise just not how to choke in the end game and just being able to clutch it out in there. And for this gameplay that I have for you guys, it's a really good gameplay, and I'm definitely going to be focusing on a lot in the end game and exactly what I did to allow me to clutch out this game. And it was a pretty intense ending. I'm not even gonna lie, I had no mats, no HP, but I was still able to clutch out the game. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on in this video. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you need to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, make sure you guys have me added and supported as a creator. All you need to do this is go over to the item shop, hit X, go to support a creator, and then type in my code, and my code is Young Humor. And once you type that in, all you have to do is accept it, and you will have me added and supported as a creator. So make sure you guys do that. It really does help me out. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, like I said, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks when it comes to that in-game, so that you guys can be more likely when it comes to clutching in the in-game. Because honestly, the most annoying thing ever is when you go through an entire game, you're having a really good game, and maybe even have a lot of kills, 14, 15, or 16 kills, and then you end up getting second place to the last team, when you know for a fact that you should have been able to win that fight, but you got super unlucky, maybe you made a bad decision or two, or they hit you for a lot of damage and you end up losing the fight. So I want to give you guys some tips and tricks when it comes to that in-game, so that you guys can clutch out a lot more of your games. And so for this gameplay here in the end game, I end up going 1v3 against the last team, and I completely run out of mats before I even have one of the kills. And you're going to see exactly what I did, and I'm going to break it down for you guys and explain exactly what I did and that allowed me to clutch out the fight. Because honestly, I probably shouldn't have lived during that fight, but I ended up making some really good decisions, and I was able to clutch out the game and get the last 3 kills on the remaining players. And of course, it's just my playstyle. I'm a really aggressive player, so anytime I see another player in the game, I'm more than likely going to end up rushing that player, or maybe come from a different angle. Either way, I'm more than likely going to challenge that player every single time if I see someone, because I like to go for a lot of kills. And necessarily in the end game, that isn't the best option. You don't want to be rushing every single team. And even though I'm a really aggressive player, and you're going to see at the end game where I challenge a lot of people, I'm going to see a team that's going to be in front of me, and I'm not going to go for the challenge right away. I'm going to go for a challenge another team that I see to my right. And the reason being is, even if you want to go for a lot of kills, you don't have to challenge every single team, or even challenge a lot more players if they have a major advantage on you. Because based on their positioning, there's been a very slim chance that I end up winning that fight. So it just would not have been a very good decision to make and a very good play for me. So when it comes to the in game and playing smart, you want to put yourself in the best position possible. And one thing that's really important that sometimes I even forget to do in the end game is, if you're going down to the last few teams, so maybe it's you and there's maybe like 9 other players left, you want to try to see on whose team and exactly how many players each team has, and that's going to set you up for a pretty good advantage. Because if you're going into a fight and you know you have a 1v2, you're going to be able to play a lot differently than if you're fighting a 1v3 or even a 1v1. You're going to be allowed to play that a little bit differently, and you're going to be allowed to change your playstyle depending on, kind of what you're going into. So knowing who's on whose team and exactly how many is in each team is going to give you a huge advantage. And it's just something that's a really important part of being able to win in that in game. Just kind of knowing, how many people are going to be on each team, so you know the type of players you're going to be fighting against. And as well, if you're going to look at the other teams, more than likely it becomes, those final circles, there's going to be multiple teams fighting. You want to see what team is better, see what teams you can get easy picks on, because you always want to try to go for the easy picks first, because you're going to be able to get knocks. That doesn't mean it's always the best option, because the sweatier players, if you see 2 people, or if you see 1 guy and you see 4 other people trying to shoot at the same player, then most of the time you want to try to get tags on the team that's, the team of 4, because that's going to be the team that you're fighting afterwards. Of course, for me, in a lot of my games, you're not going to see that, because I like to go for the most amount of kills possible. So I'm going to try to snag up that 1 quick kill, because I know more than likely I can win that 1v4 if I play it right. So I'm not too worried. But if you're going for strictly wins and clutching out in that end game, then you want to play it a little bit differently. You don't want to play like how I would do it and just go for every single kill. You'd want to go for the team that has the most amount of players and looks like it has the best advantage in that fight, so you guys can get tags on him and just make overall better decisions. So here we're going into the end game. So like I said earlier in the video, I did drop 23 kills in this gameplay, and with 14 kills with 10 other people left, that means I killed every single remaining player in this game. So in front of me, I was looking around, I was like, there's no way that there's a team in that box, and I look over, I see some movement, and I see there's like 3 or 4 people camping in that box. I was like, no way, there's not a chance I'm ever going to be challenging that. So I knew there was going to be a team in this kind of general direction because there still was 9 other players and there was 4 right there, and the other side of the map is typically not a hot spot or for a lot of rotations, and more than likely not a lot of players are going to be over there. So I end up getting 1 knock on the player right there. I see the other player isn't the sweatiest of players, so I just gave him a few shots of my P90, spam him a little bit, and able to get the finish off. So that's 16 kills with 7 other players remaining in the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate over to the right side, because keep in mind that team that was super annoying boxed in, they're probably going to be spraying really hard. They're going to be on that left side, so I'm going to stay as far as possible on this right side, because if there's a team that is, a little bit further back, that means I'm going to have a pinch on them, because they're going to get shot from the team on the left, and as well I'm going to be on the right side, if that makes any sense. So you always want to try to have teams pinch each other, because keep in mind, in a game like squads, which I'm playing right here, there's going to be a lot of players in the game and a lot of players shooting at the exact same time, and if you get caught in the middle of that crossfire, your chances of winning go down really big. And you don't even have to be in the middle to get a lot of kills, because like I said, I killed all the remaining players. So as I'm rotating over, you guys can't hear, but there's going to be a guy camping in this, I don't even know what this is, like a little building right here. So this guy camping here, immediately I go for high ground, give myself an advantage, because I don't know how many people are in this fight. So this guy's building up on me, and he's going to have teammates, which I didn't see. Now looking back, I easily seen him. He was actually a bush player just camping, and there's no chance I would have seen him in real time. So I'm building up, I'm keeping my high ground, and I'm looking for his other teammates, because with the amount of people remaining, I pretty much know he's going to have some sort of teammates, and it's not going to be a solo, just because I covered a lot of area on the map, and there just has to be other players. So I'm working my way around it, and I'm not giving up my position too early, because if I jump down too quickly, then the chances of his teammates rushing up and immediately getting high ground on me are going to be pretty big, because the rest of the team is going to be ramping up, and then I'm going to be jumping down. So if I already have that high ground, the only times I ever want to jump down is if I know I can get a pretty good few tags on them, or if I know I can do a lot of damage or get a knock. So here I'm trying to do as much damage as possible. I get an 80 damage shot, and since that player wasn't very good, he probably would have been a little bit slow on his reaction time when it came to builds, so it wouldn't have been a bad decision to drop down and then try to finish him right there. But I decided to keep my high ground a little bit and go for the player on top, and there still was teammates behind me, but the reason why I rotated up to this hill is because I still kept in mind that the other team was on the other side, and if that team would have rotated over to the hill that I'm on, the chances of me winning this fight would have went down pretty big, because this team would have been shooting at me, and as well I would have got laser from the guys on top. So I saw them were just camping over there, they were playing really slow, so I know I could come down and challenge this team. Because if the team from the far side were to push over and go for the high ground, I want to be the one to contest it, otherwise I'm going to get in a really bad spot and get pinched by the 2 teams below. So I end up getting 2 knocks on these players. I go for a thirst on this player, and I'm going to go for the thirst on the second player, but his teammate starts to come over, and this player isn't going to be one of the greatest players. I think he finds a slurp on the ground from the first guy I killed, so he goes to pop it. I hit him for a 165 and get the kill on this player. So here I have 3 other players left. I know the other players are going to be rotating over soon, and I'm surprised I haven't rotated over yet. So I want to loot quickly, and the reason why I want to be really quick with it, because I want to be able to go for the high ground as quick as I can. Because if I wait too long to go for that high ground, I know they're going to take it at the exact same time, and if they get there first in a 1v3, I'm going to be in a pretty bad spot, and I'm going to try to ramp up and just get absolutely lasered on my way up all the way down. So the zone's coming in 30 seconds, so that buys me a little bit of time, and this guy's going to be the most annoying player ever. He's just going to try to shoot me down with the RPG every single time. So I'm just trying to get as many attacks on these other players as possible, because ideally if I can get a knock on one of the players, then I'm going to get a decent amount of mats, and it's going to put me in a pretty good position to win a 1v2. So here I run out of mats, I slip down the hill, and I immediately go for as many damage shots on this guy as possible. I'm not worried too much about trying to do anything fancy. I'm just trying to do as much damage to the player as possible. So I get the knock on the player, and the zone was coming in. So unfortunately I wasn't able to get the loot, and when I was launching in, I didn't go to land on him right away. And the reason why I didn't land on that player right away, because if I would have tried to land on him, chances are he would have hit me for a ton of damage, and he would have done a ton of damage before I even landed on him. So I decided to land on the other side, which worked out perfectly, because his other teammate decided to rush me really hard, and I was able to get a pretty clean one tap on him. And even if he didn't, so say in a situation where the guy landed on top of me and he would have decided to, to try to build or try to do anything, I would have immediately pulled out my gun and try to spray him down, because that would have been my only chance of winning that fight. Because if the other guys would have kept their high ground, and especially because like I still had the RPG, I would have been in a pretty bad spot, because if I lose any sort of cover, I'm going to be pretty much screwed over, because I'm going to have no HP and I'm not going to be able to do anything. So coming down to a 1v1, I'm in a pretty good spot, still have 300 mats, I do a ton of damage to that player. I'm just trying to put damage on his walls so he can't get his heals off. So I'm reloading my gun, just challenging up a little bit. The zone's going to be on that side. So this guy goes for high ground, I shoot him out, finish him off with a pump, and I'm going to have a 23 kill game. And with that being said, that's my wrap up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys liked it, and if you could, drop a like in this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications to be notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.